Hey guys, Dharma and Dural here, back with more episodes of Dark. We're on to the penultimate episode. This is episode 7 of season 3. A little bit of a recap, if I can remember. A few bits and pieces to go through. Hannah looks like she's about to lose her baby. I think it looks like she's just had a miscarriage, but as you said, it's kind of not going to matter because we're right in the midst of the apocalypse happening in the, what do we call it? Alternate world? Reverse world? I don't know what to call it.
Not Wyndham.
Alex, not Wyndham. Alex has come clean with Bartos as to his past. That did not go down well at all. We saw Eva now starting to put everyone in place, pretty much like chess pieces, all so that at the right place at the right time. We saw them come back from Marta and convince her to go, and then older Bartos turned up to come and get his younger self. It gets confusing.
It does.
What else we got?
Ulrich is following Helga into the tunneling system because he's come to the same conclusion that I did right at the beginning of this entire series, that Mads and the body are the same person.
I was wondering how it was going to end up that he he would end up going back again, because with not being Mikkel here, it didn't seem to make any sense as to what would make him want to go through the tunnel again, but they've done it well as to the explanation as to why. Anyway.
And the most important thing that you're forgetting is Adam has decided to take Trip out of the equation entirely by tying Marta to the spot where the God particle is about to do its whole, destroy the world part.
And he's got her literally tied up there on the chair, and that's pretty much where it ended.
He needs one of those little mustaches you can twirl and one of those big hats, because it's like she's tied to the train tracks.
Like I was going to say, like when they tied him to the train tracks. Yeah. Right. Also, someone pointed out in the comments as well, it's awfully coincidental that one of the years that we now go back to is 1888, which is the year that H.G. Wells meant to have invented his time machine.
Ooh.
I didn't actually know that, so thank you for that little piece of information.
Ooh, plot thickens.
I know.
I need a goatee to do that with.
Right, let's get on with things. This is episode 7.
Like Schrödinger's cat.
Erwin Schrödinger hat für diese Frage ein überaus interessantes Gedankenexperiment
We all
konstruiert.
know this one.
Schrödingers Katze.
Aufgrund des Wellencharakters in der Quantenwelt ist das Atom gleichzeitig zerfallen und nicht zerfallen.
Yeah.
Until you observe
Bis
it.
wir es durch unsere Betrachtung in einen definitiven Zustand zwingen.
Star Wars, you won't get it.
Huh?
Star Wars, you won't get it.
Dem Menschen fällt es schwer, den Tod zu akzeptieren. Er hält fest an Dingen, die längst vergangen sind. Aber wenn Zeit relativ ist und nichts wirklich jemals vergangen, sollte es dann nicht auch möglich sein, etwas zurückzuholen, was längst tot geglaubt ist?
That's the eternal
Und
question
eine
we've always
neue
wondered.
Realität zu erschaffen, in der Todes wieder lebt.
You're a brave SOB, mate. Yeah.
That's what I was kind of expecting.
Foolish. This is how he starts turning into Adam, I think, getting this machine to work.
I think it could be
The
that.
scarring that he has.
Du willst doch gar nicht mehr zurück. Du willst die Apokalypse überhaupt nicht verhindern.
Wenn das Portal funktioniert, dann können wir es benutzen, um den Ursprung zu finden. Den einen Moment, der das hier alles ausgelöst hat. Und wenn wir ihn gefunden haben, dann werden wir ihn vernichten. Und alles, was daraus entsteht.
A massive culture shock, if nothing else.
What do you do all day?
Ich bin Silja.
Bartosz.
He's unamused by you. You can't penetrate the force field that's put around
I was going to
himself.
say, that's a force field.
Du darfst die Hoffnung nicht verlieren.
Ich kann das nicht mehr.
Yeah, he's already given up. I know resignation when I see it. It's not something I could ever do that particular way. Okay, no, I thought someone was going to come along and stop him.
So did I. No hesitation. Ah.
Phew.
Du hast gesagt, dass die Apokalypse passieren muss. Damit wir gerettet werden. Du kannst nicht sterben.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus. He is in a dark place.
To prove you can't die.
Egal, was du versuchst. Etwas. Oder jemand
Will always stop you.
wird dich immer davon abhalten. Sie wird sich wieder öffnen. Und dann wirst du uns. Dann wird Adam uns ins Paradies führen.
Gut.
Well, I knew he'd end up getting there.
Einmal noch.
So who the hell's this now?
Wie soll er heißen? Hallo.
Okay.
Kein Widerstand, kein Hindernis ist groß genug, ihn in seinem Wollen aufzuhalten. Egal, was unser Wollen motiviert, es wird uns fortan leiten auf unserem Weg.
Ah. Hello, Treacle.
Voila.
Woher weiß sie all die Dinge, die sie weiß? Sie hat gesagt, nicht alles, was hier ist, gehört hierhin. Was hat sie damit gemeint? Claudia verheimlicht uns etwas. Wir können ihr nicht trauen.
Er schöpft noch immer keinen Verdacht? Nein. Er hat keine Ahnung, dass es dich oder die andere Welt gibt. Du musst ihn weiter auf seinem Weg geleiten. Du hältst den Knoten in deiner Welt aufrecht und ich in meiner.
Ooh, this is changing.
Es muss einen Weg geben, den Knoten zu lösen.
What?
Ohne alles Leben darin zu zerstören.
Ich glaube, weder Eva noch Adam kennen diesen Weg.
This is where she goes off the books.
Yes.
In meiner oder deiner Welt. Nicht.
Yeah.
This is where she.
Because I said she had her own agenda long before Eva came along.
Yeah.
You know, clever girl.
What?
Woman.
Oh, faking that she's her. Yeah.
Du hast Claudia nicht mitgebracht.
Noah beobachtet sie. Wir müssen vorsichtig sein.
Du musst ihn Claudia geben. Und sie muss ihn Tannhaus geben.
I don't know, because she still wants to get
Or
it
is
back,
she?
doesn't
'Cause
she?
she wants-
Regina back.
Yeah. Oh my god. Show continues to just throw different
Du
time
musst
periods
jetzt
at
stark
us.
sein, Hanno. Auch für deinen Vater.
She dying?
She's had another one. I have no idea.
Wir
I've seen
haben
it.
alles versucht, Bartosz. Sie
Happened
wollte,
a
dass
lot,
sie
didn't
Agnes
it?
heißt.
No, this is Agnes and Noah.
Oh.
Das Paradies ist frei. Alles, was wir getan haben,
That's you in there, little girl.
ist Gott vergessen.
No, that's weird. You gotta steal yourself.
Passage wird sich öffnen. Und dann werden wir dort sein. Du, ich und Charlotte.
John.
Charlotte! Wo ist Charlotte?
He doesn't know yet.
Doesn't?
Ich habe mich all die Jahre gefragt, was er damit gemeint hat. Dass wir Freunde werden, bevor du mich verrätst.
Wasn't
Und
him.
Claudia, hat sie Charlotte? Hast du ihr geholfen?
Hannah?
Ah. That's your wife.
Celia?
Yep.
Ich suche Jonas.
Er hat sich verändert.
He starts to look like Adam
Das
now.
Reisen ist nicht spurlos an ihm vorbeigegangen.
Das ist meine Tochter. Celia. Sie ist deine Schwester.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Da war diese alte Frau. Die stand einfach vor unserer Tür.
Claudia?
Eva.
Oh no, Ava.
Sie hat gesagt, sie weiß, wo du bist. Es ist alles meine Schuld. Alles kaputt gemacht.
Celia. Sie gehört nicht hierher.
You were right.
Was soll das heißen? Sie gehört nicht hierher.
Alle Spielsteine müssen auf ihre Position. Sie ist hier falsch. Genau wie du.
Told ya.
Yeah. Doesn't take long.
I'd have snapped her neck, but
Just studied for a few hours in a room
Ich habe
alone.
mich gefragt, wann du kommst. Ich weiß, du glaubst, ich habe dich belogen. Dass ich dir Charlotte genommen habe. Du hattest recht. Claudia, sie hat uns alle belogen. Die letzten Seiten, sie fehlen. Du musst sie finden. Sie werden dich zu Charlotte führen und endlich auch an dein Ziel.
He's right with that.
Alles im Leben verläuft in Zyklen. Auf Sonnenuntergang folgt Sonnenaufgang. Wieder und wieder.
And this
Aber
guy
dieses
becomes the
Mal
priest.
wird es der letzte Zyklus sein.
Der
There he is.
Er wird ihn reparieren.
Du musst die Passage zerstören.
Und den Knoten mit dir.
Diesmal wird es gelingen.
Just switch pages. Yeah, tears the pages out.
Schon vor Wochen ist in der Kleinstadt Winden ein 15-jähriger Junge auf mysteriöse Weise verschwunden. Und nun alarmiert ein weiterer Vermisstenfall die Bürger der Stadt. Der 11-jährige Mikkel gilt seit 2 Tagen als vermisst.
Meeting Bartosz. Yeah.
Who is your daddy?
Yes, he is. Both with Noah and with Celia.
Du bist der weiße Teufel. Charlotte. Nein, das stimmt aber nicht.
That is your daughter.
Sie sind nicht mein Vater.
Boom. This is just what's happened in this. Well, we've not been to the other one yet, so we've no idea what's going on.
Ist es nicht eigenartig, dass wir die größte Abneigung den Menschen entgegenbringen, die uns am ähnlichsten sind? Ich bin nicht wie du. Wie ich das, was sie wollte, jemals wollen könnte. Jetzt, 66 Jahre später,
Here we
verstehe
are.
ich es. Wir tragen die gleichen Narben.
We always wondered.
Damit du niemals vergisst, auf welche Seite du wirklich gehörst. Du verstehst es jetzt vielleicht noch nicht. Aber mit uns entscheidest du dich für das Leben. Mit Adam für den Tod.
Overload.
And if so, why are we all still here?
He's got this wrong, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Das kann nicht sein.
Yeah. Should still be here. What?
That's where they'll leave it, yeah.
Okay, that was the penultimate episode of Season 3, Episode 7. And, oh my god, we visited how many different timelines? I think I counted about 25, 30 of them. But that episode was it was almost sort of like a recap episode for people who may have missed stuff, but at the same time revealing new things we didn't know.
Yeah, it's filled in the blanks to show how we go from the mid-Jonas and mid-Marta to the 66 years later versions of them, where they've both got their own agendas and how they get to the point of running those agendas, why they're doing in the way that they're doing. It's their motivation, isn't it? It's like the backstory for the character.
I'll be honest, I didn't think Hannah was that integral to stuff going on, other than the fact that she was the person who Ulrich was banging. But one of the new pieces of information that's given us in that I didn't see coming is because she went back to the 50s and got with Egon. That's Egon's kid.
Well,
Celia.
Yeah, it shows in the whatever episode it was, when she's putting all the pieces, people in place as chess pieces.
That Egon was there.
That she's like, you bring love, you bring the timeline, your life, your family name needs to be a part of this, which is why she saves him and does what he does. And I never really, I was like, well, it's only Claudia.
Yeah,
of course it's not, is
it?
It's Celia's dad.
Celia's dad, and then Celia ends up marrying Bartos, who gives birth to Noah and Agnes.
Yeah, so
honestly, like I said in the episode, I have actually seen some people in the comments said they have gotten a hold of a copy of the family tree, or they've worked out family tree themselves, because this show is that complicated. I feel like I could stare at that family tree for about 2 hours and still not know everything and trying to work everything out in my mind. It's an incredible piece of writing.
It is, and I still don't understand to this, even now, penultimate episode, I still don't understand why Adam moves both Celia and Charlotte out of the timelines that they're in. I don't get I know that Celia's not supposed to be in the 18 thingies, she should have carried on living in the 50s, but he doesn't take her there, he takes her to the future. It's bizarre.
But does he take her to the future because he knows where she's meant to be would be an impending apocalypse?
That's what
Whereas
it means.
The future that she ends up in is after it.
Is it sentimentality that makes him save her because it's his sister? I don't know these things. These are questions that
was, for a long time, especially through season 2, we hated Noah. We're like, he's the big bad guy, he's the main bad guy. Turns out he wasn't. I felt for him in that episode.
I did.
And Elizabeth, because she can't even express what happened. All she had to work with was her reaction, her emotions showing on her face, and the actress who played her in this episode did it really well. Again, they found someone who looks just enough like what she might look like when she's older, but she had the same eyes.
Yeah, it was well put together. I mean, obviously the big reveal at the end of that is what the frick happened, because what he expected to happen didn't happen. He was hoping that he would just wink out of existence along with everything else, and instead the little the dark matter ball and Marta have just vanished entirely.
Yeah, I like it because it's the only time you've seen Adam
unsure,
confused. You could see he was like,
he had a Ben Linus moment there, didn't he?
Like, I'm still here, and that's not. Wait a minute. So 66 years of you thinking you now finally understand everything that's going on has proven Jack shit.
Yeah, you still don't know, and Trip still exists.
You still don't know any more than the rest of us do, clearly.
It's been fascinating. It's been a hell of a ride to get to this. And like you say, jumping through the timelines to see everything that goes on. I liked that you got to see Jonas start to transform into Adam. You get to see the sort of resentment of it building up. He was the Jonas that is under the tutelage of Claudia, White Devil, is already losing hope and is losing faith. You know, he's locked into he has to stay alive, he has to keep hope, because he tries to kill himself and it's not possible because he already exists in an older form.
Yeah, I knew that.
I mean, that is a mindfuck in itself, because you're like, what? I'm stuck doing this?
When he threw himself off that chair, my brain was like, hang on a minute, how can this one be? Because he ends up the middle-aged one that we see right from the first episode, who sets all this in motion. At least that's how, I know he's not one who sets it all in motion as regards the whole story, but at the beginning of the series, he's the first person, he's the dark stranger, we don't know. So, and then he proved it with the gun, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's like, go on, try and kill yourself.
And I like that you see that hardening of his heart. You see him where he's like, I just want out of this. You know what? Since my older version of me turned up on that first day and left, you know, follow the friggin' tunnel as a clue, my life hasn't been my own, so I'm putting an end to it. And that's sort of where you see that resolve start to solidify, and he's like, nah, I want out.
The only bit that I don't see any point to was right at the end there, when she went and gave her younger self the scar. I thought she ended up with the scar from whatever happened to her, maybe at this point or further down the line. But if you know you've got a big scar across your face in your 70s, your 80s, like it is for her 66 years later, why would you wait for your younger self to turn? Just do it again.
To establish.
I know she's saying that's for you to understand the pain.
It's to establish dominance. It's to say, look, you are not your own person. You are me. Get those ideas out of your head that you can change anything. At least she hasn't been as big a bad as Adam and trying to lie to her younger self that it can be changed. She's been pretty upfront down the line going, I don't want it to change. This has to stay the way it is. Get on board.
That was still an absolute mindfuck of an episode. That one really was. I have no idea what's coming in the finale, but I know they're probably going to throw everything at us at once.
It's been, like I say, it's been really interesting to slow. It sounds ridiculous to slow down the pace, but obviously everything's been leading up to that point where he's like, right, I'm making my final stand.
Part of that was recaps of things that some of it we'd seen, some of it we hadn't, and some of it's just showing a transition of that person to the other person we now know because they're older. And the amount of different scenes that they used in the recap while the music was playing towards the end of that episode, they picked all the perfect ones for it to all just slot into place. It's like, that was like you've got the jigsaw puzzle, but you haven't got the outlined edge.
Yeah.
And they've just put the outline all the way around it to go, this is what it looks like. But still,
I just really hope that those two machines get an explanation. The one that Tannhaus was trying to build and the one that Noah was playing around with. I want both of those to be explained.
We don't have an explanation for either of those. The one Tannhaus is building, I don't know what the hell that was, and it didn't even look even similar to everything else. It wasn't even the same colour, the thing.
Do you not think it looks like a prototype for the small one that he has, that they walk around with, the little...
If you imagine that just covered in his skin, it'd be a sphere, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Because I think
and like you say, I want to know what the one is that Noah starts first using with the
frigging maiden thing, the Iron Maiden.
That? Who's made that?
Why have you made that? Yeah, you've not explained that.
I'm sure it will.
I mean, it makes sense that he has that sort of inclination because he is the Tannhaus line and the Tannhaus line is going down there. I think what it could be is, so I think it's a prototype for this other one, is the space-time thing, because I still think dead is dead. But if there's multiple parallel worlds and universes and timelines running, then you can go into that one and steal a Peter and bring it into this.
So that thing that Tannhaus is building is in our famous bunker. So whenever we've seen the ripping time and it opens in that bunker, that's probably why it's there. It's from whatever he's constructed.
Precisely, yeah, because I've always wondered why it's in that bunker.
I always wondered, why does it appear in the bunker? That has obviously some significance as to why it does that. We just don't have an explanation for it yet.
But we'll see if we get it in the final one, or whether we'll be arguing.
I'm absolutely looking forward to the final episode, and I cannot wait. We're going to be recording that tomorrow.
Yes.
So if you're watching this on Patreon, you will have 2 episodes back to back as normal. If you're on YouTube, you'll be watching it 1 a week. Sorry. Obviously the edited versions, but don't forget, wherever you are watching this, if you're on Patreon, you already know. If you're not, you can go over to Patreon and watch it in full length. The link will be in the description as always, and you can go and check that out over there. So we will be back with the final episode of Dark, and hopefully some sort of an explanations and not left gobsmacked at the end with our mouths open but not actually understanding what happened.
It's a good possibility.
Which could be a good possibility, yeah. Right guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, post your comments down below and your theories and your speculations and anything else. And we got one more to go. See you next time.